and welcome to Food Network Obsessed. I'm your host, Jamie Sire. Today's guest is a pastry chef, a content creator, and an entrepreneur. You've probably seen her baking her beautiful desserts for her millions of followers online, and she recently brought one of her family traditions to Food Network's Dig In With. It's Allison Chen. Allison, welcome to Food Network Obsessed. I am personally kind of obsessed with your career path because it is so wonderfully unexpected. For anybody listening or now watching who is unfamiliar with your journey, how exactly did you go from studying neuroscience at Duke to learning how to make croissants in France?
Guilty. Honestly, it was very simple. I just Googled it.
Amazing.
To put it bluntly, I literally just Googled it. But no, I think I transitioned from being very academic to being more pastry and dessert oriented, probably over the span of like a year and a half in school. I was going to be a doctor, as all good Asian kids are, and then about a year and a half in, I realized that I didn't want to do this for the next 10 years. And so I started panicking because I sort of knew that I really had to choose another career. Otherwise, I was going to be behind, which is a very college kid thing to say. So then I just started like looking at all these different careers and opportunities. And I was like, well, that one's in an office. That one looks boring. I kind of know what all these are going to look like in 10 years, and it's going to be me trapped in an office working for someone else. So then I was like, okay, if I have to do that and I have to be an adult, I'm going to first do something that I really want to do and something that I really love doing. And so I was like, I'm going to go to pastry school.
I mean, that's amazing. Yeah.
And so I think I get a lot of questions now too of people asking me like, oh, how did you find the pastry school? What was the experience like? And I was like, honestly, I Googled it. And then I hit apply, and then I was on a plane to France to go learn about baking and pastries.
I mean, that is incredible. And the power of Google, right? I mean, that's just an ad for Google. No, I mean, what was the hardest part from going from like, studying medicine basically at Duke, a very demanding school, to going and studying another really kind of intense, I guess, category or subject?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's just such a different career, and trajectory. I think like baking and pastry, while there are academic parts to it, it's like a very physically demanding job. And you're on your feet all day and you're learning through like sight and through doing and touching. You're not really like reading anything in the same way that you are at regular school. And so I think that was a large adjustment, and just seeing how I guess other people live their lives, right? Like I was taught from a very young age that like I need to be very academic. I need to read and write. I need to be really good at math. And those are what make you successful. And that is not necessarily true anymore. Although maybe stay in school, guys.
Yeah. I mean, that said, pastry is like famously, the exact science of the culinary world. So I am wondering, did your brain kind of like adapt to that part of culinary pretty quickly because you had been studying all the math and science, in your younger years?
I would hope so. I definitely loved baking and pastry as a kid because it was really science oriented. And so like I think I thrived in like biology and chemistry more so because I knew all this science already from all of my years of baking. And I think, I also think, to be honest, while it is precise, I don't think it's as precise as people think it is. I definitely had chefs that were just like, just throw in a little bit there. Just like, we'll throw this in the kitchen sink, and like, they kind of just throw things around, and then at the end it looks beautiful. So I think that there is sort of a casual nature to it once you do it enough times. But yeah, everyone has a scale, and you have recipes with temperatures and things. So it's pretty easy to stay within the guidelines that you need to.
What did you learn about yourself during that time, going through not only the curriculum, but also just, living over there in France?
I mean, I think the biggest thing that the French will say is that I definitely work too hard. So I think having that sort of balanced perspective on life and the fact that, there are other ways to live your life besides what you've been taught to live. And there are different ways that you can be successful in life that don't necessarily look like a traditional career.
All right, I love that. But then you get back from France, right? And
Yeah.
you decide to start running the Not restaurant, which was
Oh, yes.
essentially a tasting menu out of your college apartment. It feels like either a great idea or a terrible idea, depending on the day and how it goes. But tell us what this was, like what prompted it and how it went.
Yeah, so when I came back from France, I still wanted to have the opportunity to bake and to sort of like bake at the same ish level that I was in school. Because when you're baking in a professional kitchen, you're doing really large quantities of food. You're making more like intricate sort of dishes than you would say in your home kitchen. Like we're not just making like cookies or like a single cake. You're making like 100 of them. And so I really wanted to start sort of originally a dessert tasting menu just out of my apartment, and I would just make all the desserts and invite people over. And then my friends had seen that I was going to pastry school online. And when I came back, they texted me and they were like, "Do you want to start something together?" And so they had been working in restaurant kitchens over the summer. And I was working in a dessert shop over the summer. And so we decided to combine forces, where I would do the sweet side, they would do the savory side. And then we came up with this tasting menu concept called stage, which is the French word for internship or like culinary internship. And we were going to use it as a stage for our food and for our experimentation.
I love that. What was the feedback? What was the reception like for this tasting menu that you guys are running out of your apartment?
I think it was super cool to a lot of our friends. It was a really novel concept at the time, to sort of just like have really like intricate fine dining dishes for like on a college budget in someone's apartment. And so I think the feedback was great. I mean, we had a really long wait list of people that were on our mailing list that wanted to like sign up to eat our dinners that we couldn't necessarily accommodate everyone. And we ended up getting to do really cool things. Like we taught a cooking class with the school. We like hosted dinners at like professors' apartments and things. So we were just like the cooking club. Or like the cooking frat, honestly. We cooked far too much. But yeah, on the internet, I did love to rage bait everyone. At the time, I would tell everyone that we were running a restaurant, which obviously is not the case.
I mean, you mentioned online and that you were starting to kind of share some of this. Like this is happening simultaneously, like while you're going to culinary school, while you're, having this quote unquote not restaurant. Like when was the moment where you kind of started posting, or maybe it was a specific video where people kind of started to, react to it and you felt like this could be something more than just posting online?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think of maybe like two-ish moments. Like, I break it up into like two pieces. I think I was really lucky in the sense that some of my first videos of me going to pastry school were doing very well and they kind of went viral in my eyes. Which at the time, viral was like 100,000 views. I think because the concept was so novel at the time, it was pretty easy for people to be invested and to gain that sort of initial traction. When I originally Googled my pastry school and sort of Googled what it was like going to culinary school, I did go on TikTok, I did go on YouTube to sort of see what other people's experiences were. And I didn't find many videos of that. So I thought I was going to just contribute back to the pastry school community and sort of document my experience because I think it would have been helpful to me. And also because at the time I was telling all my friends about it and they really wanted to see what I was baking. And they were like, send me photos, send me photos. And I was like, well, I'm not going to send 100 people photos. So here's the account, go follow it. So I think there was that, but for that first year when I was still in school, I didn't really think anything of it. I originally was going to use it as like a portfolio of all the cool things that I baked. So that way I could get like a job, using that portfolio. And then when I came back, I think someone paid me $500 to make a video when I came back to the States. And I was like, oh my God, I can make money. I can pay my rent for college and like things like that. And from there, I think it slowly snowballed into what it is now.
Your videos are so great because I feel like they help baking feel, less intimidating. Was that always the goal, or did that kind of just happen organically?
I think it was definitely just a happy accident. I really love to explain things in like simplest terms. I'm really bad at giving like elaborate wax pros. Like I'm just like, this is what it is. Take it or leave it. So I think it's pretty easy for me to explain things in a simplistic way. And then quite frankly, I do think I'm just kind of clumsy. And so I think the combination of that does make it feel more approachable. But I do think in my heart of hearts, I do think baking is pretty approachable. It's just dumping things in and then they magically taste amazing. Like, I think that's such a simple process. So I wish more people also thought of it that way.
Well, you also heavily brand yourself as having only child energy. So for those of us that do have siblings, explain to us what only child energy is and how does that translate into both your baking and your content?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think in real life I don't have only child energy like that bad, but maybe people can clock that for me. Um, I think being an only child in this case was really helpful for social media and just for like stepping out of my comfort zone because there are no expectations of like what I'm supposed to do. I'm just truly doing exactly what I want to do. And I think as I get older, that'll change and I'll have like responsibilities or whatever. Um, I think being willing to put myself out there and being willing to do crazy things like go to pastry school instead of college, those have really allowed me to be sort of like a unique voice or a unique person. But maybe that's just because I'm an only child.
Well, something that, tends to happen with, I feel like, digital creators, the personal brand becomes, a full scale business. You're
Totally.
balancing, deals and content and merch. And now you are the chief baking officer at Kitsby Studios in New York. First of all, that's just an iconic title to begin with.
Thank you. I came up with it myself.
Well, congrats. Bravo. Tell us about Kitsby and how you got involved there.
Yeah, I think definitely post grad, post the not restaurant and post pastry school, I was definitely still figuring out what I wanted to do next. Just because everything is so new. And the sort of my ethos about posting online is about just doing cool baking things and making large projects that like make me happy. And so I think with moving to New York, I sort of was lost as to what I could actually do again and like what would be interesting for me to do and then also simultaneously film. I always love running businesses. I had many lemonade stands as a kid.
Amazing. Me too.
Yes, I did lemonade stands. I did sell baked goods. I was queen of the bake sale.
Oh, of
Let
course.
me tell you, I did those like 2012 like rainbow poop cupcake things many times. And then so yeah, so I always really wanted to like be involved in a business of some kind, whether it be my own or just with the help of other people. And so this is, I think like, this is like a happy medium in between the two. So Kitsby Studio is like an events and social company, based in New York. And we run mostly baking events. So we like teach people how to decorate cakes and things like that. I think it's probably like the most fun part of like hospitality, which is getting to engage with people and like giving them an interactive experience versus just like cranking out the food and then serving it to them and then they buy it and they leave. So as part of the team, I mostly focus on like our special events and like I'll help teach those special classes and also I'll decorate like special cakes for our different events and things like that. And then I'll post about it on social media, obviously.
Obviously. No, that's so fun. And, a lot of times I feel like, we talk to creators and it can be a lonely space because, you're at home, you're just filming by yourself. What is it like kind of being in more of that social space? Like you said, kind of, akin to like your not restaurant in college, like being able to interact and really kind of build that community with people that feel the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely an adjustment at first because the only child in me was like, oh, I was so used to just doing all the work myself and not having to talk to anyone about it that it honestly was a bit of a shift to like communicate with people about like all the different things you have going on. When can I slot in the events that I'm hosting and things like that. And I think honestly, like there have been ups and downs, like with any business, and stuff like, I don't know, like, installing, I never thought I would like install ovens, like the random things like that, or like, oh, we're out of toilet paper for the bathroom. Like these are not things that I like would think about for the business. But it's been super helpful to have other people around to sort of like bounce ideas off of and to help install those ovens.
You need more than one person for that, for sure.
Totally.
All right, we're going to play a little game now. This is, I'm sure you've heard of it, fork, marry, kill. So fork is a dish that you'll happily eat once. Marry, you're committed to this dish for life. Kill, it vanishes from every bakery case on earth forever. All right?
Ooh, I'm so excited.
All right. We've got a couple of different categories. So round one, we're going with the classics. So we've got a croissant, a chocolate chip cookie, and a cinnamon roll. Which one are you forking, marrying, and killing?
Okay. Oh my God. This is crazy. Okay. So I think I'm gonna fork the cinnamon roll.
Okay.
I love cinnamon rolls because I'm a big cream cheese frosting person. I do think sometimes they're a bit rich though. Like they're more of like a once a quarter kind of situation, because I don't think I could eat a lot of cinnamon rolls.
Okay.
I think I'd have to, I think I'd have to marry the chocolate chip cookie.
I mean,
I'm not gonna do a disservice to every single bakery in America. Like it's like 100% the best-selling item of every bakery. And they're so stinking delicious for how easy they are to make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's a classic. You can eat it every day for sure. So
Exactly.
So I guess you are. Oh, so you're.
Oh yeah.
You're killing croissants.
No, I'm killing croissants.
Are you not a croissant fan, or?
So I have personal beef with the croissant.
Okay.
I do have croissants everywhere. I understand this is like the personal brand I accidentally made for myself 3 years ago. The reason that happened was because I was getting bullied by people about the pronunciation of croissant, because I pronounce it like an American, very sad. And so I think that was the first time I experienced online hate. So it really stuck with me. Because people were like, why? You can't teach us how to make pastries. You can't even pronounce croissant. And for some reason, those words really stuck with me.
Okay.
And to be honest, I do love like a flaky pastry. But I do think like croissant is probably the most basic of all the flaky pastries. And I like never reach for that, like when I'm going to a bakery.
Okay. All right.
And I'm going to be honest, like making them at home is not fun.
That's true. It's not like you're just going to wake up on a Saturday and make like croissants from scratch.
It's like a full day process. And to be honest, without the commercial kitchen equipment, it's like not as good anyways.
Yeah. All right, round two. This is the viral dessert round. And based on one of your recent videos, I feel like I know what one of the answers is. But we're going dot cakes, Dubai chocolate, or butter shell soft serve.
Butter. Oh, okay.
Have you seen that?
Oh my God. Yes, I have. Okay. I'm going to fork the dot cake.
Okay. All right.
So, yes, I did just post a video where I wanted to like the dot cake. And then by the end of it, I was like, this is the worst thing ever.
I mean, I agree with you. I think the crunchy, I haven't had like the actual dot cake, but in general, those are my least favorite type of sprinkles. So like, I don't know why would I want them on a cake? I don't know.
Because for one, those are the wrong type of sprinkles to make funfetti cake because they bleed everywhere anyways. So your batter will turn like a greenish blue by the time you mix in all the sprinkles. So you can't even make funfetti cake with these kinds of sprinkles. And then on top of the cake, it's just so crunchy. Like I feel like I'm going to crack a tooth.
Same. Yes. All right. Wait. So you're forking the dot cake.
Yeah, I'm going to fork the dot cake.
Okay.
Just because like I think I had it once. I do think they look really cute.
Mm-hmm. They are
And
cute.
like, if this is what we're gonna need to do to bring back cupcakes, like that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, once again, I am always a proponent of having easy desserts that people love, so that way bakers can earn more money.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, so the dog cake I would fork.
Okay.
I guess I'd have to marry the butter soft serve.
Okay.
To be honest, I've never had it, but like I really do love butter.
That's true. And if it's really good butter.
I think it would taste amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I trust when French people put butter on things. Like I trust their butter and I trust their butter judgment.
All right. So you're killing Dubai chocolate then? Is that what's happening? All right. Or are you just over it?
This.
Yeah.
No one needed this. I think one, chocolate is like becoming very expensive.
Mm.
And I think like we have so much endangered, like I think the state of chocolate and like the state of cocoa farms are all things that are like in a very precarious place. We don't need to be wasting our chocolate on Dubai chocolate. And yeah, I think we also caused a pistachio shortage because of the Dubai chocolate. And I just think it's too rich. It's too much.
Okay.
It's a one and done situation.
All right. Killing off the Dubai chocolate forever. All right. But you brought up some very good points. So I feel like people can't be mad at you about that. All right. Round 3. We're doing countries now. So this is like you could only eat desserts from one country for the rest of your life type thing. All right. So we've got France, Taiwan, and the United States.
Okay. Ooh. Okay, I would fork Taiwan.
Okay.
I would fork Taiwan. I think Asia has amazing pastries and amazing pastry innovation. And I think their palate is definitely very different to what we find here in the US. And so their desserts are like a lot lighter and like a lot spongier and lighter, like a lot of whipped cream, or oddly enough, they put a lot of cream cheese in everything. Which I love cream cheese, but like maybe not with like my bread rolls. So I think they do have some weird stuff too. And like they put a lot of sweet potatoes, a lot of raisins and things. So not always my favorite flavors.
Okay.
But I do respect the innovation.
Okay.
Obviously, I'd have to marry France.
Obviously.
I think, I mean, truly no one can beat the innovation when it comes to dessert and pastry in France. And like they truly think about this all day, every day. I took many like master classes there and they were showing us like all the different vegan desserts they were making and like all the different substitutions they make to like make things more sustainable, or like they ferment wheat shells to make cocoa, to make fake chocolate. Like they're doing all kinds of crazy things with dessert, and they do win the pastry World Cup all the time.
Okay.
They have really incredible stuff.
No.
When I run out of inspiration, I start Googling things in French. Back to the Google.
Yeah.
But like I will start looking at recipes in French and going on the French internet, just because the stuff that they make is so different to the stuff you can find in English.
Okay. So obviously you're killing the American desserts.
Yeah, I mean they definitely have a soft spot in my heart. I don't think the US really likes to explore the kinds of desserts that they're into. It's very much like cake, cookie, brownie.
Yep.
And it's different iterations of that, which once again, I will eat all of those. I do love sweets, but I think people are a little bit more unwilling to try like new things unless they take up these formats.
Okay. Well, now that you're in New York City, we're going to do a New York City bakery round. So babka, black and white cookie, or cheesecake.
Ooh, okay. Let me think about it. So I think I'd fork babka.
Okay.
I do love babka.
I love babka.
I learned how to make babka one summer when I was staging at Bread's Bakery, and they make very good babka.
Yes, they do.
Objectively, though, like after learning how to make babka, I'm like, really shouldn't eat this because there's so much chocolate in the middle and so much sugar. I'm like, ooh, okay. I understand why it's so good now. But yeah, I really respect the way that babka's made because it is like made of bread. It's like a bread based product, so like
Mm-hmm.
there is like proofing and stuff like that, and then you
Mm,
have to like shape it nicely and evenly to get the proper swirling technique.
true.
So I respect it.
Okay.
And then I think I'd have to marry cheesecake
I mean,
just
you
because
love, we've established you love cream
I
cheese.
love cream cheese. Cheesecake's also my dad's favorite
uh,
dessert. And so like I think I've made a decent amount of like Food Network cheesecakes growing up.
oh, okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
you're,
I don't know which recipe it is, but there's like one with sour cream topping that we used to make all the
ooh,
time.
okay. All right. I have to
It's
look at that.
very New York style cheesecake.
Love that. And then black and white cookie is
The
going
black
by
and
the
white
wayside.
cookie's gone.
Mm,
I think it's too dry
okay.
most of the time.
All right. All right. Fair. All right. Final round, Asian bakery round. We've got an egg tart, a moon cake, or Tangyuan.
Oh. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to fork Tangyuan.
Uh-huh.
For those of you that don't know, Tangyuan is like it's like a this is not gonna sound very appetizing. It's a glutinous rice ball, so it's mochi.
Mm.
And in the middle is black sesame paste. And I love peanut butter. So I love Tangyuan because it's just chewy and also basically just tastes like peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you eat it in like a soup. So it really also like helps sort of like
Mm.
coat your tongue with liquid so that way you can eat more like black sesame paste because like peanut butter is kind of drying if you eat a lot of it.
Mm.
So I think it's a very good way to eat a lot of basically peanut butter. And also like I mean it's so easy to make because we buy them frozen, right?
Mm.
And so you just pop them in a pot of boiling water and then in like 10 minutes you have dessert. Easiest dessert I've ever made.
Wait, I missed it. Wait, so what are you marrying that?
We're
Are you
forking
Are you
Tangyuan. I know.
Tangyuan.
I know.
Okay.
It's only a fork, but I have
Okay.
such high praises.
You do.
And then we have to marry an egg tart. Egg tarts are so delicious.
Mm.
I think the Hong Kong and like Macau style egg tarts from Chinese bakeries are far superior to like the pastel de nata from Portugal because like all of the Taiwanese bakeries use like milk. So they're really creamy. It just tastes like you're eating a sweet egg. And you can eat so many. Oh, so good. And so
good.
buttery.
Yes.
And then in this roundup, we do have to kill mooncake.
Mm.
I just think growing up in the States, I really did think that mooncake was going to be like fluffy like a cake, and it's not. And I think they're quite dense and sweet, so I do eat them, but like it really isn't like a go-to dessert for me that I like really crave. It's just there
That's just
at
there.
certain times of the year. Sorry.
No, it's fair. I mean, the marketing kind of hurt it. If it's calling itself a cake, you want cake, right?
Right. Also, they're really hard to make.
Mm.
For what they are, they're like quite hard to make. You can't really make the filling from scratch because like they all use really large industrial machines to make it that smooth. And so if you make it at home, like they're really chunky. I guess you can make other kinds of moon cakes that are less traditional, but the traditional ones are hard.
Okay. All right.
Would not recommend.
All right. Well, you did an excellent job at our game, Fork, Marry, Kill. Let's talk about dig in with, and in fact, your episode actually centered around one of the desserts that we just talked about,
Oh my God,
Tangyuan.
yes.
A lot of viewers, maybe that was their first time kind of experiencing that, maybe even hearing what it was. But what made you personally want to tell that story specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I was approached to do that, also, by the way, was one of the coolest like filming experiences ever because like I film at home with my iPhone. And to have like I should post more photos of it too.
Yeah,
because to
you
have
should.
like 3 people staring at me while I'm cooking stuff was a lot. I was like, oh, I'm kind of flattered.
Ooh.
But I think when I was approached to do the Food Network shoot, they really wanted to emphasize stuff from my childhood and stuff that I grew up eating. And so I chose 2 desserts. I chose key lime pie, and I also chose tangyuan, because these are both things that I ate a lot of as a kid. One, because I made it, in my toaster oven. And the other one was just because it was around. And I think it's a great and easy way to sort of like bring my culture to a new audience just because they are quite easy to make, and they're like it's quite a simple dish.
Mm-hmm.
And it is pretty simple to explain if you just call it mochi with like black sesame peanut butter, basically. And I think they're so delicious. So I was really honored that I got to cook them all day and then eat them.
When you're thinking about food and what, kind of content you want to create, what comes first for you, the actual food or the story?
Yeah, I think I think sometimes I do get these impulses of just to make things based on what I'm craving. But I think as I've gone along over the past year, I've sort of tried to flip the script on how I like approach my baked goods. I do kind of want it to come more from like a story place or a particular place of inspiration, because otherwise it is then just like a video about food.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as meaningful. And I think the things that are more meaningful are what resonate more with people and also are what make people more interested in continuing to follow the other food you make.
Yeah, I mean, and also there's so many recipes online these
Totally.
days, whether it's blogs or videos or whatever the case may be. And as somebody who has really worked at building that audience, what does make a food story resonate with people?
Oh, I think for me, it's kind of just about like how clumsy I am, simply put. But I think making it either approachable or relatable, are very easy ways to sort of bring people into like your food world. I mean, I do some crazy things too. Like I made like a couple croquembouches last year, and things like that. Those are things that normal people do not make. And those are things that I learned specifically how to do, like in France. And so for things like that, like I will just like give people the honest truth about like, oh, this batch failed, but we made it again, so it's okay. Or like I burned my finger, but no worries, we're gonna keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that do happen to people and also happen to people on the job all the time too. It's just you don't talk about it. That make people sort of like invested in like wanting to see the end result because we worked so hard on it.
Mm-hmm. How often are you surprised like by the reaction, whether it's good or bad? The recent gelatin cake I just saw on your feed comes to mind. Like there was very divided on that. Like how like surprised are you when those kinds of things kind of take off and happen?
I think it's 50-50. Sometimes I do things and I understand that there will be like sort of blowback in some way, just because like maybe like an ingredient is controversial or something like that. And then sometimes things blow out of proportion for like reasons you can't expect. Like I think a month ago I made a funfetti cake, and then it went really viral in Europe because Europeans don't like American style cake. And that I was like, okay, I don't know what I did here. But I think for something like the gelatin cake, and even for the funfetti cake situation, I'm just like, ultimately, at the end of the day, it is just like a dessert. Like, it is just a cake. So, like, I'm glad people do have strong opinions and feel very passionately about their dessert, but like, it really isn't that deep or a reflection of me. And I also think that gelatin cakes are just fun to make.
Yeah.
Not really. They're actually really not fun at all to make, but like
They're fun to
I think they're
once they're
interesting.
done. Yeah.
I think they're fun to look at when they're done. And I think that's the issue with social media sometimes is like it can't quite capture how it looks like in real life. So I do think they look really cool in real life because there's just so much depth to them. And they look so weird because like I've never seen another cake in real life that looks like that. But, that's for another day. Maybe one day everyone will come look at my gelatin cakes with me.
Yeah, exactly. A girl can dream, right? Food Network has also been kind of leaning into more of like the creator space, digital personalities over the last few years. If the network called tomorrow and said, we want to build a show around Allison Chen, what is the concept? What kind of show are we looking at?
Oh, stop it. Stop it. You are? I'm ready.
Let's go.
I think my ideal job, really, my dream job would just be to to taste food and to judge it.
Okay.
I actually, so in real life, I'm really not a judgy person. like I can be. If called upon to do that, I could be very critical and judgy, but like ultimately when people put in so much work into their food, like I'm not gonna dink you for putting in the effort. But if given the opportunity, I would 100% love to judge a baking show
Okay.
where people just do crazy baking challenges.
Yeah.
Much like the ones I already force myself to do on a daily basis. But everyone can struggle together.
Were you a Food Network kid growing up? Did you watch some of these shows, or did that like obsession come later on?
Oh my gosh, yes. I was a Food Network kid through and through.
What were the shows? What were you watching?
I watched Chopped.
Yes, of course.
Incredible. I did watch that Robert Irvine show, What It Was, Restaurant Impossible,
Yes.
I believe.
Yep.
Yes. I loved that show.
Good show.
I watched Iron Chef all the time.
Yes.
And then I believe they also had these like one-off cake competitions. For different seasons. And those were my favorite.
Okay.
I believe in particular there was a wedding cake one that I really enjoyed.
Okay.
Obviously I watched Cupcake Wars. Yeah, I think there was also Cake Wars.
There's a lot of baking
There's so
ones.
many. And I also watched all the kids baking championships.
Of course, yes. All right. So if you were gonna compete, or let's say judge, because it sounds like you would lean more towards the judging aspect, which show would you want to most judge?
Ooh. I mean, if we brought back Cupcake Wars,
okay,
I would judge Cupcake Wars.
Okay, all right. Maybe we're manifesting that right now.
It can be Dot Cake Wars if that's what the people need.
Yeah, or maybe just one episode.
The show.
Maybe just one episode of Dot Cake.
Yeah.
So we're not like the whole thing, but
so
yeah.
my teeth don't fall out.
Exactly. Well, this has been so much fun. We have a few more rapid fire questions for you, and then we have one final question that we ask everybody here on the podcast. All right, rapid fire. A dessert everyone loves that you secretly don't.
Croissants.
We've established this.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, it's okay. One dessert you wish more Americans knew about.
Oh, back in the croissant category.
Okay.
Pain Suisse.
Oh, what's that?
It's like a pain au chocolat.
Oh.
It's like a chocolate croissant.
Okay.
But in addition to chocolate, they use chocolate chips instead of like a bar of chocolate.
Okay.
And then they put pastry cream in it.
Ooh.
So it's a little bit more well balanced.
Yeah.
Because it's not just chocolate. It's a little creamy too and vanilla-y. I think it's perfect.
Oh, that sounds delicious. A dessert you're waiting in line for that's worth it.
Okay. I think sometimes Cafe Pana is worth it in New York City.
Love Cafe Pana, yes.
I do think they've like reinvented whipped cream. Like I don't know how they make that whipped cream, and I think it's so delicious.
It's so light and fluffy for sure.
I know. It's so good, and the fat doesn't separate. Okay, I'm getting into it too much.
What's currently in your freezer?
There's a cake
in
my freezer.
Like for a future event or a leftover cake?
So I was working on another gelatin cake.
Okay.
And it didn't pan out. So the cake is still in the freezer and we're going to redo it.
Okay. All right. Food Network judge that you'd be most nervous to bake for.
Ooh. Can Bobby Flay? Does Bobby Flay judge?
He judges sometimes. Yeah. I mean, he mostly hosts and cooks, but yeah, he'll judge. He'll jump in there to judge.
Alex is kind of scary.
Oh, yeah.
Terry Crews on that new show seems kind of scary.
What? Terry's so nice.
I mean, I don't know.
He's intimidating looking though, for sure.
True.
Okay. Halloween baking championship or holiday baking championship?
Ooh, holiday. I get scared very easily.
So no scary cakes.
No.
Favorite social media trend?
Favorite social media trend? Frozen yogurt.
Okay. All right. It's coming back.
I do love frozen yogurt.
Something you're obsessed with now that's not food. So like a TV show, movie, book, music, something like that.
Ooh. I've been watching What have I been watching? I've been watching Not Suitable for Work,
Oh, okay.
which is a new Mindy Kaling show.
Ooh, okay. I'll have to add that one.
I do also love reality TV. Selling Sunset
Okay.
and Love is Blind,
Okay.
I think are all fantastic.
All right, last rapid fire, and then we have our final question. All right, you can invite 3 people to a dessert party. You've got to pick 1 Food Network star, 1 creator, and 1 historical figure who's coming to your dessert party.
Oh my gosh. 1 Food Network star. I'd suppose I have to invite Candace Nelson from Cupcake Wars.
Okay.
Who else? Well, I suppose I would have to invite Robert Irvine then to judge my dessert party.
Okay. All right.
He can be undercover and I don't know he's there.
I think he's pretty obvious, but sure, we'll put him in a disguise.
Well, yeah. I mean, they put him in disguises on the show.
That's true.
I don't know if anyone bought them, but like they existed. Another creator, I would invite. Who can I invite? Oh, well, I recently went out with Pancake Princess, my good friend. She makes a lot of pancakes.
Love it.
Also she bakes a lot of other things too.
Okay. Cool.
And likes to bake things multiple times and test different recipes. So she can do all the bulk baking for me.
Great. And then who's a historical figure you want on the guest list?
As a historical figure, does my grandpa count as a historical figure?
100%.
Yeah, I'll invite my grandpa.
I love it.
He's 98.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. He deserves a sweet treat.
Okay. Yes, he does. What's his name?
I don't know his English name. He doesn't have an English name.
Oh, got it. All right. Well, the last question, he can come to your last question as well if you want. The last question is something we ask everybody at the end of our conversations, and it is, what would be on the menu for your perfect food day? So we want you to take us through like the progression of breakfast, lunch, dinner, of course, dessert, and you can throw in other desserts or snacks if you want. You can time travel, calories don't count. Anybody can share these meals with you. We just want to hear like your ideal lineup for the day if there were no rules.
Okay, so I do have a notes app doc.
I love this already.
I do have a notes app doc, and I keep tabs of all my favorite foods.
Okay.
Because one day I would really love to be on last meals. And so I want all of my answers unlocked. So I do have a list, and I'll just read through the list.
Yes, please.
So it's kind of short as of now, but like over time. So it would be 3 Kumamoto oysters.
Okay.
To start. And then I do need a bowl of cacio e pepe.
Oh, yes.
As well as I love breakfast burritos so much for some reason. So the closest breakfast burrito to me is Ceremonia Bake Shop. It's a chorizo guac burrito. Delicious.
I'm familiar. It is very good.
Delicious. I would need, I guess in addition to the oysters, I would do 2 yellowtail scallion rolls. That is my favorite sushi roll.
Okay.
And then for desserts, the desserts I've listed right now are kind of crazy. Obviously, egg tarts are on there. And then I would do the light pink Loft House sugar cookies.
Okay. What are those?
Like the soft grocery store cookies.
Yes.
That kind of taste like cardboard.
Yes, and like plastic maybe, but yes.
But I kind of love them.
But they're kind of like addictive at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. And then also the purple grape Uncrustables.
Okay.
And I'm actually a very big candy fan.
Okay.
So I would get gummy candy.
Which one?
But specifically, like, I don't like sour candy. I like the sweet stuff.
Okay.
So I would get like gummy candy, but with the white foamy backs on them.
I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Because the texture of like the gummy top and the foamy white back,
and it's kind of cream soda-y almost. Too,
yes,
you know,
a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's my running list so far.
Okay, I love it. That's a great list. You got to keep adding to it. We'll have to check back in with you periodically and see what else has been.
Have me on again. It'll be longer next time.
Well, we cannot wait, and so love seeing, again, your journey unfold. Still so many chapters left, but thank you for taking the time and sharing some of them with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me and letting me yap for longer than my videos.
You can watch Allison's Dig In With episode across Food Network's digital platforms, and be sure to follow her on social media for all of those delicious recipes, baking tips, and behind the scenes look at her life as a pastry chef. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Make sure you follow Food Network Obsessed wherever you get your podcasts, and you can watch them now on YouTube as well. Make sure you like and subscribe. We love it when you do that. That's all for this week. We'll catch you foodies next time.